nominated for 4 of those awards. Let's let her talk about it. Please welcome Sinead O'Connor. I'm sure everybody has heard about this thing, and sometimes we get distorted views and misquotes. Why don't you explain why you don't want to go tomorrow? And it's not too late for me and you to get some tuxes and go, you know. I'll take you.
I'd go if I went with you.
Good night!
Well, first of all, I want to point out that it's not just the Grammys that I pulled out of the English awards as well, the English equivalent. The reason that I wanted to pull out was because I believe very much that the music industry as a whole operates mainly, it's concerned mainly with material success, and a lot of artists I think, are responsible for encouraging the belief among people that material success will make them happy. And I think one of the ways that the industry encourages commercial success and materiality is by having award ceremonies which very much honour those who have achieved material success rather than people who have told the truth or who've done anything to pass information to people or to inspire people or to, you know, just be truthful about anything, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, it makes sense, because I guess in the past there have been people like Jimi Hendrix and Bob Dylan who probably had never received Grammys.
Well, that's true. I mean, Bob Dylan, I think, received a Grammy for a good vocal performance, you know, which doesn't make any sense to me, or it doesn't make any sense to me. But, well, exactly, like can Bob Dylan sing, you know? You know, I mean, he's brilliant, you know what I mean? He should receive Grammys for being brilliant and for speaking the truth and for fighting for the things that he fought for, you know? The same as Ice Cube should, or the same as Van Morrison should, or people like that. And John Lennon has to die, like, before he gets a Grammy. You know. Aren't
there some rappers that aren't even going to go tomorrow night or something?
Yeah, apparently. The Rush management apparently have pulled their people out.
Yeah. So. The question in a lot of minds is probably, because, you know, you and I did the MTV Awards together, and you went to the AMAs. Why those and not this one?
Well, first of all, I went to the AMAs purely to confirm everything that I'd been thinking. Anyway, I'd been thinking about this for a long time before that, and I wanted to go there and see. I wanted to know whether, in the light of there being a world war happening, which is happening because we as a race are concerned with material success rather than each other. We don't love each other, we don't care about each other, we kill each other, we allow each other to starve to death, you know, we censor each other, you know, we rape each other, we beat each other up, we abuse our children in every way possible, you know what I mean? So in the light of there being a world war, which I think is happening because of all of those things, I wanted to see if any artists would say anything when they had the platform about the war and about how tragic it was, and nobody said a word other than, you know, peace in the Middle East, but I don't know what that means when you're dressed in a suit that's made out of the American flag, you know what I mean? So I wanted to basically...
Kind of like this.
Well... There's one thing that must be pointed out, that, you know, it's very easy, and a lot of people have done this. I don't have any problem with America or with American people, and it's simply a lie for anybody to say that I do. If I did, I wouldn't live in this country, and I'd hardly even be sitting here speaking to anybody. But the fact is that I don't agree with segregation of any kind, whether it's in music or whether it's to do with nationalism or patriotism of any kind. I believe in having a sense of pride in your country and where you're from, but I believe in the human race. I don't believe in sections of it, or, you know, sections of music. I believe in art. You know what I mean? I don't believe in segregation of any kind. So, basically, I went to the American Music Awards because I wanted to see whether anybody would have the guts to say anything. You know, like how tragic it is that the war is on, and nobody did. So that's when I decided that, you know, I didn't want to be part of the whole thing.
And what do you think about the positive efforts that have come out of the music industry, like the We Are the World thing and Live Aid, things like that?
I think that's brilliant. I think that on the part of the artists that were involved, it was brilliant. But if you look at the record companies and how they behaved when all that was going on, record companies were putting adverts out in newspapers saying, you know, buy this record as seen on the Nelson Mandela Show or as seen on Live Aid, using the whole thing for promotion, which is disgraceful. Using it to make money for themselves. You know, I don't know how much of it went to the famine relief, you know.
Yeah.
So.
This has become an international issue with you. Isn't there a DJ that said, I mean, in England, who said you should be spanked or something?
Yeah.
Can you give me his number in case y'all work it out? I'd like to do the spanking.
Oh, well, I'd like you to. I was going to ask you if you would, actually.
Yeah, let's get busy. Let's really get busy.
What are you doing later on?
Yeah. Who is this guy? Is he...
Don't avoid the issue.
I'm not going to avoid the issue. I just want to give you your time now, and I'll get my time later.
Okay. There's this DJ called Jonathan King, he's the producer of the English equivalent to the Grammys, which is called the BPI Awards, and he was very upset at the fact that I refused to accept the British award for Best International Female. And what he did was he showed a video of Whitney Houston singing the American national anthem, and this was supposed to insult me. He did an interview recently with Music Week and Billboard where he said that I needed to be taught some manners and that artists in general shouldn't be allowed to become bad-mannered, that they should receive a good spanking. Just as a parent spanks a child, he said Sinead O'Connor should be spanked for being so bad-mannered. So, yeah.
I know all this must get to you because I know negative stuff about me seems to surface and get to me quicker than positive response. It seems like people who like you never write or anything like that, you know. But I hope you know there are a lot of people that support you. There was a wonderful article in the New York Times. There was something in Time magazine. And there are a lot of people who not only support you, but support your right.
I think that there are a lot of people who support. At the end of the day, like, what have I said? What I've said is that I believe that the human race is concerned mostly with money, and, you know, that we are concerned more about money than we are about each other. Like, at the end of the day, that's what I've said. And I think that probably every person in this room and on the planet agrees with that, that money basically is the cause of every sort of problem that we see happening in the universe. And I think what people disagree with and have the problem with is when the media give the impression that I'm some sort of anti-American. And I don't know where they get it from or where, you know, they draw the whole thing from. But, you know, it's the very people that I'm talking about, the very people that are responsible for being so greedy and for encouraging the whole thing. They're the ones that have the problem, you know what I mean? I don't think that it's actual real people, you know.
The people you've come in contact with, other than this DJ there, how about DJs here? How about musicians? How's the industry responded to you?
I wouldn't say that it's responded enormously favourably to me because I'm criticising it. You know what I mean? I think if there's one thing I failed to point out is that there are a lot of people involved in the industry who are not greedy and who are not in it simply to make money and use people. But I'd say that 80% are, you know, and the 80% that are, of course, have been very vociferous in their disagreement with me and how they're very patronising, of course, and how, you know, who am I to talk since I've only had one hit record, and even that was written by Prince, and I only have it, the only reason I'm in the music business is because I have a shaved head, that kind of thing. You know, that's basically the response from people. There hasn't been an awful lot of support from people within the industry, no.
Did you see this show the night Sting was on?
No, I didn't.
He said, I'm going to get you a tape of that. When you're feeling down, you have to watch that.
I heard about Sting, and I got a letter from Raquel Welch as well, which is great. I'll send that to my dad, because he really fancies her, so. Very good.
Yeah.
Nothing happens, you know. I'll have a laugh, you know.
Will you tell them to mail it to you?
No, I've said that if I win, I won't accept it, and I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it near me. I wouldn't. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it represents everything that I despise about the music industry. What people don't really understand is that when you stand on a stage, for example, singing, there's one of you and there's 5,000 or however many people in the audience, and whatever it is that you're giving out to people, they're giving back to you, you're getting it back 5,000 times, and that's worth an awful lot more to me than a piece of metal is, you know what I mean? So I don't want anything to do with that aspect of things. You know, it's not really why I'm doing what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah. I was talking to you once, and you said something, and I started to ask you then more about it, because it kind of stayed with me. We were talking about, somebody's response to you was, if you're so unhappy, why don't you quit and go home?
MC Hammer's response.
But, and your response to me when we were discussing it is you said, maybe I will. Does it get you down sometimes and you want to quit and just go home?
Yeah, it does. It's very difficult. It does get me down. I mean, you know, there are things that I really like, but this kind of thing, it's not easy to be the butt of an awful lot of venom and hatred that gets directed at you merely because you've said that you're sorry over the fact that there's a war happening, you know, and that you'd like to do something about it. You know what I mean? There are millions and millions of people who feel exactly the same as I do. If you forget that I'm in any way a public figure, you know, there are billions of people that feel exactly the same as I do, and they don't have the opportunity to say how they feel, and people like us do, and we should do, as far as I'm concerned. But it's very, very difficult just as a 24-year-old girl, like, to be the butt, as I said, of such an enormous amount of hatred and venom and personal abuse, you know what I mean? Mm. It really gets to be a bit of a strain, so sometimes you feel like, you know, that cave is looking good, you know, that farm in Africa, you know?
Is that where you'd like to go live sometime?
I would, I think so.
Weren't you voted by Rolling Stone readers best and worst something in the same category?
Yeah, it was best female singer and worst female singer. So it's obviously getting through. So it's obviously going according to plan, you know.
Is that according to plan?
Yeah, you know. I mean, I think it shows that whatever it is you're trying to do, it's definitely getting through, you know. Not that I have any idea what it is I'm trying to do, but there you go. Not that anyone else does either. You know?
Sometimes you say things that amaze me. I wonder if you even believe them. You said that you were ugly and hideous.
Yeah, everybody feels that, though. I mean, every girl goes through phases of feeling like a dog, you know?
And that day you felt ugly and hideous?
I feel ugly and hideous today as well.
Stop. Don't you realize that you can't cut your head bald and look this beautiful if you're ugly and hideous?
Well,
you're a very attractive woman. You can't believe you're ugly and hideous.
I don't know. I feel better now since you think I'm attractive.
Yeah, because some people are beautiful because of their hair. Have you seen these girls in the clubs and it's like this, and you say, she's attractive. You say, oh, where the hell is she? Get all that hair out of the way. You know, everybody can't do this.
No, it's just, I think it's because I'm Irish. A lot of Irish people, me included, we have problems with our bodies. You know, we have problems with feeling good about ourselves. You know, but it takes someone as gorgeous as yourself to say it before we believe it.
Yeah, right. You also said something else that was interesting. You said, all men are full of shit. Even that guy is clapping it. She right? Why did you say that?
Well, first of all, I love men. I mean, who doesn't? But I think that what I meant by that was that I think that men have a very hard time expressing themselves. I think they find it very, very difficult. I mean, they're very anal. They, you know, I think they are. You know, so they're anal retentive, rather, which means they're full of I think that men, and I think a lot of the time it's the fault of women, because we tell our little boys not to cry because big boys don't cry, so they grow up being completely unable to express themselves, and they hate themselves for it, and because they can't express how bad they feel because they can't express themselves, they like beat up women, or they drink, or they, you know, they're obnoxious or whatever, but, you know, but as far as being full is concerned, I think it's just because they just tell you lies all the time, don't they? You know, just so they can sleep with you, and you'd sleep with them anyway. You know, like, say, if you said to me, you know, have it off with me, I'd say yes. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have to tell me you love me, you know. They tell you they love you, you know. Hypothetically, of course.
I invited you out once. I asked you if you wanted to go to a Laker game.
Yeah, but you didn't give me a date, you know.
Well, they're on the road now.
Well, you know, we can travel, can't we?
I'm here every day. You know? I can't go, but as soon as they come back, we're going to hang.
I live here, Arsenio. I live up the road.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking now is I could have gone to a Laker game with my partner, John. I didn't even have to tell you that. I could have just knocked on your door. Look, I want them boots. And, you know, I didn't have to lie to you. Yeah, no, not those, baby. No, but I actually agree with you, because guys are dogs.
It's just, look, you know.
Guys are dogs.
You don't need to tell us you love us, okay? You know, we want to have it off with you. It's fine. You don't have to lie to us, you know.
I agree. Guys are dogs. I just wanted to see how you articulated it, you know, and you didn't.
I mean, I love them as well. Like, I don't mean it as if I'm some man-hater, because I love men. I think that men have their together sometimes an awful lot more than women do. You know what I mean? In different areas. You know?
Now, if
now I'm going to be in trouble with the feminists.
If for some reason somebody finds out that we have been hanging out, am I going to have your purple badness coming to my door mad?
If you wear this jacket, though.
We'll work it out. We'll work out the wardrobe thing. You know?
Okay, yeah, I can't
But,
talk. I realize.
Is your purple badness going to be mad at me?
I wouldn't know. I doubt if
I'm speaking
find
of
it
Prince
hard to
because
even
you know
articulate the name.
these articles have been out, and I don't know what's true.
Well, I don't think that I'm a person that is thought of in anyone's mind as being dishonest or being a liar.
See, I never know whether the quote in the paper is true. According to a newspaper I read, the man got pretty vicious with you.
He did, but I don't really think that this is the time or the place to go into it.
Okay, well, let's move on.
I don't mean that disrespectfully, but you know,
No,
let's
I know.
not give any
I
more
always tell
publicity.
you, whatever you have to do, you do it, and I'll go with it. You know, I know business is first. I mean, you got to be careful.
You in the music business?
Business. You're going to do a song.
I'm going to attempt to do a song now.
And what's the name of the song?
It's called Irish Ways and Irish Laws.
Okay. I think that explains it. We'll take a commercial, and we'll come right back, and she'll do a song for you all, a very unique song, too, in a very unique way. Sinead O'Connor. Performing Irish Ways and Irish Laws. Please give it up for Sinead O'Connor.
Once upon a time there was Irish ways and Irish laws, villages of Irish blood, waking to the morning, waking to the morning. Then the Vikings came around, turned us up and turned us down, started building boats and towns, and they tried to change our living, tried to change our living. Cromwell and his soldiers came, started centuries of shame, but they could not make us turn. We are a river flowing, we're a river flowing. Again the soldiers came, burned our houses, stole our grain, shot the farmers in their fields, working for a living, working for a living. 800 years we have been down, the secret of the water sound has kept the spirit of a man above the pain descending, above the pain descending. Today the struggle carries on. I wonder, will I live so long to see the gates being opened up to a people and their freedom, a people and their freedom. Once upon a time there was
touches of Irish blood.